Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with a little update on the Ballinger family. I also have an update on Colleen herself, and also I wanted to share something that Joshua David Evans had to say. He continues to speak out about this situation, and I wanted to share his thoughts. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright, you guys, so I told you that I was not going to let the Colleen Ballinger topic fade away, and this is actually something that Joshua David Evans touched on, and that's important, and I want to share with you guys. But first, let's talk about Jessica Ballinger sharing that she took all of her children to see Jojo Siwa, and she shared this post on Instagram, which I will throw up, of course, with the children's faces blurred. But it says, celebrating Jojo Siwa and her incredible strength on special forces, which is like this new program that Jojo is involved with. Don't really care, but I do care about the fact that all of these predator protectors are just continuing to hang out with one another. They truly don't care. They don't care about the fact that, they're exposing their children, and they are making an example of what is acceptable as to what should we be accepting from people that we know in our real life. They are setting a terrible example for their children. And it's very interesting because in this photo, her entire family is dressed as if they're going to an Easter photo shoot. But then you have one of the kids this kid has been a target of relentless bullying during basically his entire life on social media. And people have said the most awful, heinous things about this kid. But, Jessica and Chris continue to put their kids out there, and that's just the cost of being a family vlogger. What are they going to do? Decide to be good parents and protect their kids from social media? No, because that's how they pay their bills. And they're not going to give it up. They're obviously going to keep on going. Doesn't matter what Colleen is exposed for. Doesn't matter if people hate the fact that they exploit their children and put out really weird content, which I've covered before, just borderline, like it kind of makes you scratch your head. But this kid it almost looks like he has a Miranda costume on, which I don't think that's what he's wearing. But he's obviously dressed differently than the rest of the family is. But they had a ball with Jojo, and I guess all the protectors just hang out and eat popcorn all day and truck on. Get on with life. Now, the other thing is this image is being circulated, and I don't know when it is from for a fact, but it's showing Colleen Ballinger at LAX airport, and she's wearing her face mask. I don't know how recent this is. That's the only reason I'm kind of taking it with a grain of salt, but if it was recent, she looks to be traveling by herself. I don't know where she was going, obviously, but this image is being circulated and kind of talked about. I know that there was a sighting of her at Ross a couple months ago, right after everything kind of imploded. And now it looks like she was at LAX by herself, which, again, there's no date on this or timestamp or anything like that. So I went over to Colleen Ballinger's subreddit, and Rich Lux also talked about this spotting at LAX. And the comments over on Reddit are saying that this is an old photo. So we have some people saying it's a newer photo, some people saying it's an older photo, some people questioning, well, she's wearing a face mask. To me, the face mask thing doesn't really mean a whole lot, because there are a lot of people that anytime they're in a crowded space, they're still going to wear their mask, and airports are obviously very high risk. So the mask thing to me doesn't really matter. I think her being seen is a really minuscule thing. I really don't think that it's that crazy. If it were to be proven that it was a newer photo, okay. If it was an older photo, okay. I mean, all that I care about is, when is the real accountability going to be seen from her? Because it's been over 3 months since she has uploaded any content to YouTube. And I'm not talking about her stupid ukulele thing. I'm talking about actual content. So I don't know. But wherever she was going, don't know, don't really care. And one other thing I want to talk about in this video while I have you guys is Rich Lux put out a video a couple days ago that I watched, and I was really, really disappointed in Rich's point of view on what he was sharing in his video. He essentially said that, you know, he was basically giving sympathy to Colleen and saying how Todrick went ahead and was, you know, he met Todrick, and Todrick is such a great guy, and Todrick, you know, said things about Colleen that, oh, it's not fair, she's getting all of this hate and online bullying. I might make a separate video about that, just to make it more streamlined, because I can do a reaction. But coming out of that video, I felt very disappointed, and I know opinions, we all have one, and we're not always going to disagree and all of that kind of stuff, but the people that are giving Colleen Ballinger sympathy, I have a huge problem with, and that's just how I feel. Now, in a video that I did last week, I talked about the internet's short-term memory when it comes to bad YouTubers, bad influencers. It kind of seems like, okay, let's talk about it for this specific period of time, and then it's not talked about, and this awful individual is allowed to come back to their platform and kind of exist like nothing happened. It is so crazy to me the way that the internet treats some of these people. And Josh shared this on Twitter, and I think he made a really good point. He said, to anyone feeling low or uncertain about everything that happened, just checking in on you. With everything seemingly fading into the distance after months of daily revelations and discoveries of how deep this situation got, it's quite clear that there is a lot more that hasn't even been addressed. That being said, I know a lot of the victims and former fans are still struggling now that the dust is settling. Please don't suffer in silence. People do care even if they never acknowledge you. Don't let their inaction dictate your self-worth. As corny as my little Canva posts are, I mean it. The power is in your hands now. Remember that. And he signed it Joshua. And that was put out yesterday. You know, I like that he is acknowledging what is unfortunately happening right in front of us. Because people are starting to kind of move on to other topics or lose interest in the Colleen thing. And it's such an important conversation. And, you know, I kind of sit here as a commentary channel and try to balance everything where I'm not talking about it too much, but I'm also not letting too much time pass, because I think that until we see some actual accountability, I don't think that the conversation should end or slow down to only once in a while. And that's why I'm keeping up my end of the deal and continuing to cover it. I will talk about Colleen and her family until I'm blue in the face. I've been doing it for over 3 years, and I will continue to do it until I see real accountability from her and Corey and Chris and Trent. All of them have a huge amount of accountability to display that has yet to be seen. That was the other thing in Rich's video. He was talking about how's she going to pay for, oh, did she have a chef? Did she have, you know, somebody that she had to pay? Like, who cares? I have no pity for Colleen Ballinger. Did she have an ounce of pity for Adam McIntyre when her fans were literally doxing him, harassing him, calling him the most egregious names, bullying him? She was actively participating in a hate campaign to try to get him to be so scared that he would just leave the internet. She had not an ounce of mercy or pity for Adam. And in this case, I have zero sympathy for Colleen Ballinger or anyone who is actively associating with her and continuing to excuse her disgusting behavior like Jojo Siwa. So that's how I feel about this little update. Wanted to bring it to you guys. How do you feel about everything down below? If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.